The Uasin Senator Honorable Jackson Mandago has accepted in public that together with the other accomplices, they connived to commit an act of felony, stealing and abuse of office. Charges that are very serious. And Kenyans are asking whether justice will be dispensed, whether Mandago will be treated like a common man who would have stolen from the villages. And the drama that is going on between Mandago and the DCI seems to be choreographed. It is like a play that is being acted. When the parents and students of Uasin confronted the county government for swindling their money that they had donated to acquire scholarship in Finland and Canada, we didn't know who to believe. And that young lady who told the county government that most of them are living on antidepressants, they are depressed because some parents sold their cattle, others sold their property, others sold their ancestral land to acquire a better future for the children. But someone who is being paid by taxpayers' money, someone whose office is being maintained by taxpayers' money, decided to take advantage of vulnerable constituents and misused their money, knowing very well that there's nothing they could do. But the parents and those students in Uasin have confirmed that something that I've always emphasized. In Kenya and in the Kenyan political context, if you keep quiet and sit pretty to see things happen, you will die. You need to wake up, confront the situation, confront the leaders, so that you get what belongs to you. They confronted in broad daylight and they went to the anti-corruption department. And funnily enough, a warrant of arrest was issued against Mandago. And there are rumors here and there that Mandago had been missing, that he was hiding from the DCI. And very many Kenyans are questioning if the DCI is really serious that he wants to arrest Mandago. The DCI's office. Do you think it can take a minute? And Mandago took to his Twitter handle and he said something, accepting and admitting that he committed a crime. I have met with the leadership of parents demanding refunds and agreed on the way forward, as per their press statement issued last evening. Then he also said, there are rumors all over Eldoret town that DCI officers have been looking for me the whole night. As a law-abiding citizen, I am available once summoned. I have met with the leadership of the parents and agreed on the way forward as per their press statements issued last evening. So after those tweets, accepting liability, accepting to have committed a crime, and after Kenyans complained that the DCI was not serious about arresting him, they moved swiftly and arrested him, whisked him in the DCI's car, and he is gone to record statements. Now let us just agree on one thing. Even as he records statements, because I think this is now the second time or the third time, he has accepted that he took the money and is ready to refund. Someone who is ready is someone who is already saying, I committed a crime. So with all the statements that you are trying to record here and there, he has accepted an act of felony. Mandago is accepting that he committed an act of felony. In public, he's saying that, be that as it may, he has met the leadership of the parents who are complaining. One thing that people are asking is just very simple. What happens when you accept liability Don't you think justice must be dispensed? Do we just leave it at that? Okay, Mandago committed those crimes according to what I think what is saying, and okay, I know that before he's charged in a court of law, he's innocent until proved guilty. But this is Mandago accepting by admitting that you have met the leadership of those who are complaining, and you're saying that you will refund. What are you refunding? It means he took this money, he subjected this parent to psychological torture, he has delayed education of some of these students. These people have got offices that are being maintained by taxpayers' money. The secretariat, the security, their vehicles at their homes. Yet they still stoop too low to engage in this petty corruption. For the first time, I agreed with Kapsaret Member of Parliament, Oscar Sudi. He's a man who I rarely agree with his statements and sentiments. But he said the first thing that you need to understand, these people respect you so much. They have done an honor to you and elected you into office. Instead of trying to reciprocate the honor and dignity that they have given you to elect you into office, you still come back and you want to take their money. It is very sad. But then, will the DCI act? Are they also playing politics to manage us? Because I'm sure if it was some ordinary man, he would be locked up in some cell. Mandago is saying that he's ready, yet there's other quarters saying that Mandago is hiding. Justice delayed is justice denied. What if the parents would have not gone there to complain? What if the students would have not confronted Mandago and the others? What should happen? I'm not a lawyer, but when one commits an act of felony, do you just call a press conference or go to your Twitter handle and just say, yes, I have agreed, we agreed to settle this in outside the court? I think it is the court that must determine, or you request through the courts if you want to settle it out of court. But what happens in the near future? Don't you think something must be done to ensure that we avert? And Mandago and the group must serve as a lesson to other leadership. Because if we allow this to happen, you can mess up people's lives and then you simply refund their money. What about the psychological torture and the delayed education that some of those students were talking about? Don't you think they can also pay? Because this is something that perhaps might not be judged in a court of public opinion, but can be judged in our courts of just, I don't know whether we have courts of justice or compromised courts, but I think it should end up in the court. Then the question that people are asking, do we have the same justice served to ordinary Kenyan and the same justice served to these leaders? Do we have an equilibrium? At what point do you now say that a criminal is a criminal? An act of crime is just an act of crime? Or do we have justice dispensed according to your status in the society? Because what is happening here is, I don't think this thing will go far. I don't think the DCI has the guts to arrest a senator. And if he does, it will be for camera, for the public consumption. There's nothing much that they are going to do. Number two, many are saying, will William Ruto allow the DCI to mess up with these people? Because there is a general conversation in Kenya today that William Ruto loves and will always protect his people. As long as wewe ni mkale, hakuna kitu kitafanyika. He has gone and pardoned some who had been jailed. The other day he gave the journalist Joshua Sang a job. And of course there's nothing wrong because Sang is a Kenyan as long as he qualifies to be in that office. But then people say that William Ruto loves his people so much that in a case like this, he will not allow it. He will not allow people like Mandago to be subjected to some justice system. Will he stay aside? Because I know it might not really happen under his watch. Because what happened must not be, just left scot-free. Otherwise, another person will do the same thing. Sometimes some of these things are done in such a way to serve as a lesson to others. But one thing I will want to finish with is just a repeat that in Kenya, when you realize that something is going wrong, complain, make noise. This is why people always go to the streets, because if you don't, the government will not listen to you, whether the county government or the national government. If you sit pretty there, it won't. People have to make noise. It is high time, because if there is one lesson that we learned from Uasin Gishu, is that it is high time we confront our leadership, we look at them in the face and tell them, you are wrong, we are demanding for our rights. We are all taxpayers. The reason why we have corruption in our counties is because we don't want to face our leadership and tell them, this is the way we want you to go, because we elected them, we gave them power to rule on our behalf. The DCI that office is being compromised and is playing a lot of politics. And this is why people are saying, will it dispense justice?